I wrote this one 5 days before the referendum on independence that we held in Scotland. So, 5 days before fear defeated idealism. In the final days before the decision was taken, they saw their utopias as shining cities built upon the shores of heaven. Dreaming spires, shaded boulevards where no children starved or stuck needles in their arms to welcome oblivion. A place purged of all conflict seemed possible, desirable. They put faith in their better natures, turned away from reality to embrace possibility. In the final days before the ultimatum, they spread fear among themselves with dire prophecy, sold out hope as an unhelpful commodity, picturing the slide back to slums and debtors' jails, feudal dominance and rank inequality. They shook their heads wearily, steeled themselves, assuming that they could predict the death of all dreams. In the final days before the referendum, they doubted themselves, craved a strong hand, the liberation of servitude, abrogated all responsibility in the face of history, which told them the shape of their chains, spoke with comforting familiarity of a mailed fist, proffered to kiss, offering bliss. In the final days before the choice was made, they allowed themselves visions of a society enlivened and enriched by cultural difference. They dreamed the borders open and the rules unwritten. They thought of their children, wanted to believe that a promise could be more than a wish, more than a prediction, more than a proposition. In the final days, they ran from the prisons of various isms. They healed schisms, stretched hands across imaginary borders, and drew lines in the sand, unafraid that they might wash away. They bathed happily in the light of day, and for the first time in centuries, allowed themselves to pray to a God they were sure had abandoned them. Merci. In the final days before history was written, they lived in a paradise of imminence. They held tight to their innocence and celebrated their awakenings. The sword of Damocles held no terror any longer. They were risen like invincible angels, striding through a pale dawn to clash spears with demons. In the final days before they started living, they allowed themselves to fear the purblind majesty of the silent majority, the unthinking compliance with a whitewashed, pre-programmed mirage that shimmered in the minds of those they did not understand. Charged rhetoric echoed in debating chambers and diminished into silence. On the morning of the proclamation, they were galvanized by defeat, and they knew the battle was not lost until the final dreamer coughed his last. On the morning of the declaration, they emerged blinking into blinding light and began building, knowing that their path was set with traps and middens. On the morning of the dedication, the heretics were expelled from public office and began plotting. Dreamers became rebels and revolutionaries. On the morning of the Reformation, they stood upon the shore and considered drowning. Then they disappeared inside the grey towns and villages to sow colour among the citizens. Dawn broke. All was changed. They stood upon the precipice of history and made a pact. This is where it begins. The dream. This is where it begins. We are awake now. The dream remains.